Namaste friends, welcome to Yoga Bliss with Shelly, and I am Shelly. Today's practice is autumn yoga. It is the autumn equinox. Yesterday was the last day of summer, so join me today as we embrace the changing of the seasons and acknowledge that changing within ourselves. And I'm all about your comfort, so get whatever you need, whether it's a blanket for the support of your knees, your joints, a pillow, if you would like a block. We're going to be doing an alternate nostril breath, so you're going to want to blow your nose. So if you want to pause this, blow your nose real quick, unroll the mat, unpeel the edges, and together, let us do this. Welcome back, my friends. Grab whatever you got, so if it's a pillow or a blanket, and get seated into your sit bones. So join me in that crisscross applesauce, that Sukhasana, or maybe it's a hero's pose if you would like to be sitting on the feet and just resting on the shins, if that works best for you. I know my daughter loves that pose, so find your seat, get settled, move that meaty part of the booty away from the sit bones, and just kind of get those last minute wiggles out, maybe a big yawn, stretch up, and releasing the arms down. This is Joy. He's here taking a nap, right? That's what he does. P.S. The kids are in their rooms, and we're just showing up today for this autumn, this fall yoga practice. So if you haven't blown your nose, real quick, blow your nose. You're going to want to clear your nasal passageways. Okay, clear them, clear them, clear them. And we're going to start with the alternate nostril breath. This can look so many different ways. So you're going to be taking your dominant side. So take your dominant hand. I'm a righty. It would be your lefty. And you're going to put the thumb on that nostril. So if you are right-handed, your right thumb is going to go on your right nostril. If you're left-handed, left thumb on left nostril. You can use the pointer finger. You can use the middle finger, you can use the ring finger. I like to use the ring finger, or you can do the hang 10. So you can, there's not a right or a wrong way to do this. I'm gonna take my glasses off, that feels best for me. So you can just, you're gonna put one hand on one nostril, and you're gonna take a nice fluid breath in. You're gonna exhale it out. Let's try that again. We're gonna inhale it up, pause at the top. Plug both nostrils, exhale out the other side. And you're going to be plugging the opposite side. So you're going to be alternating. And you might have done this, and it might be kind of weird at first. Sometimes there's a lot of resistance, so just flow with it. So my hand is representing the exhale, inhale is up. Ready? So exhale as you plug. Inhale. Plug, pause. Exhale. So flow with your breath. Inhale. Pause. So let's do 15 of these. So kind of go at your own pace. I'm still here with you. Just close your eyes. Turn within in yourself, acknowledging that change. As fall is right here, autumn is here at the equinox. Exhaling. Pausing at the top, my friend. One full cycle is out one side, completely in the other. So I'm on 2. Let's try 10 of these, okay? Let's do 10. You can do this. Settle into your heart. Settle into all the feelings. Flow with your breath. Pause at the top. See if you can pause between the breath. Find a little space between the thoughts. We're more than halfway done. rooting yourself into the earth like a tree that's changing. Moving that air, whether it's organic or it's work. There's no right or wrong. Last one, completely exhaling out. And pause and slowly allow the hands to melt away from the face, bringing both of the hands on the tops of the knees. You can choose a mudra if you would like, combining the pointer and the thumb together in a circle, and just putting the hands on the knees, rooting into the earth, and just pausing here to just notice that movement of energy within, without trying to move forward to what is it we're going to do next, or I need to be moving my body, and just feeling. Maybe you can feel that aliveness swirling and spiraling within the Nadi Sodhana, the alternate nostril breath. And maybe if you need, you can start slowly rocking the shoulders from the core and feeling that balancing from that breath, bringing the solar and the lunar aspects together, my friends, which is perfect because this is that balance, right? It's that balance between day and night. And the nights are starting to get colder. The sun is going down sooner as we find balance, balancing our feminine, our masculine sides. Awesome work, my friend. From the core, inhale, raising the shoulders high, high, high up to the sky. You can kind of catch a little wave here, exhaling forward, and we're going to come over onto all fours into a tabletop position. Since Joy's so cuddled up, I'm not going to move him. So you could use that pillow under the knees if you have harder floors. And if you've been watching my last episodes, we've been under construction. We're still waiting for the baseboards, but look at our new floors. They're lovely. You gotta celebrate the good times, right? So coming into that tabletop position, my friends, and just finding yourself here. So setting up, stacking the shoulders over the wrists, tuning into the hips, doing your best to get the hips aligned over the knees, tuning into the hind foot, the hind foot's up or below, down. And we're just gonna move this little sleeper. Zoop, zoop. Got a little sleeping guy. Take this moment to fully deflate the diaphragm. So if you can, just bring a big fluid breath into the lungs as you arch the back high, high, high up to the sky, like this black cat, right? Halloween is gonna be creeping up. And maybe, my friends, I can encourage you to just take a free movement here. So if you want to just stay static and still, you can, or if you want to find a little freedom, a little free expression within your body. So maybe find something inside of a movement that is gonna feel what you need in the moment. So whatever it is, maybe you can do what I'm doing. Just kind of check in for a moment. And coming back as we arch that spine up high, high, high to the sky. Slowly exhale as you dip the navel towards the earth, lifting the chin and the tail high up to the sky, and noticing with a nice breath in and then exhale out. Just notice, how does that feel? Right, maybe swirling the hips side to side, finding a little infinity or figure 8 in the hips. Awesome work, my friends. And from here, we're going to do a little bit of a fire breath movement. So fire breath is just a quick inhale, followed by a quick exhale. Might re-blew that nostril. So you can imagine you're drawing that navel up. So we're going to activate our fire breath. And we're going to tie movement in. So we're going to exhale the head forward. Exhale. Inhale. You can take this slow or fast, okay? So just flowing with the breath. Letting go of judgment of how your body should be. Tuning inside. Activating that fire. That pitta energy with all these fall colors. Activating activating all of those glowing amber tones. Good job. Not worrying about what's coming up. Taking 10 more of these. And slowing your roll for a moment. Coming back onto the heels for a moment. If you need to move that pillow out of the way, or maybe that will help you if you had that blanket, opening the heels up, taking the sit bones all the way back, and coming in for a devotional bhaktasana or a balasana, a pose of gratitude. And just allow yourself just to feel kind of the activation of that fire breath. And as we welcome in this new season, this fall, this autumn equinox, knowing that change is apparent in nature, and we can look to nature and we can just find the beauty without judgment. We look at trees and we don't judge how big the trunk is, how skinny the trunk is, how knotty or how crooked the branches are. We see the trees and we just notice the beauty. Breathing in a big breath of gratitude for all of the trees into the back of the heart as you're melting it out. Awesome. We're coming up to all fours, meeting me as you set yourself up here, my friends. Awesome. Work from here, really rooting the hands into the earth, planting, and from the thumb to the pointer to the pinky. And if you have wider shoulders like me, I've always had just like I have a very athletic build and really big bones, so I need a wider stance. So I'm in that overflow. Sometimes my pinky to my ring finger off the mat. If you have a more narrower gait, kind of set yourself up underneath of yourself. Yoga's not a one size fits all, right? And it's a practice, it's not a perfect. So from here, we're gonna post up on the hind feet. We're gonna just slowly, with intention, we're gonna move, and we're gonna get ourselves into our first downward dog of the day, our first inversion. So really just kind of riding that wave until you really open up the shoulders and the back body, opening up the front body. And take a breath here. And really, if you can, I like to just take this as a moment to see the world in a different perspective, right? And with these fall leaves changing, with the seasons getting colder, the nights getting longer, maybe we are feeling like we need more rest. Maybe we need to give ourselves a little bit more compassion and grace right now, especially for us parents out there doing remote learning and always being with our kids and playing all of the roles in life. It's really challenging, and I completely resonate with this. So from the heart, my friends, we're going to really root into the earth, and we're going to lift from the navel. We're going to bring that body forward, bringing the weight into the hands as we come in for our plank. And just pausing here with a big breath that radiates up the soles of the feet. Exhaling that out. Or maybe you want to take a little lion's breath. Or a few fire breaths. Whatever resonates with you. From the center, we're going to lift from the core, tipping all the way back, coming back into that downward dog. Taking 5 of these at your own pace. So just kind of like you're lifting up and over, kind of like you're coming over a hurdle in life, really creating that flat back, and from the glutes and the hamstrings and the calves really activating. And you can tune into the feet if they're feeling too close together, moving them out, really powering through the arms, really feeling supported by the earth, and trying your best to bring the weight into the body, into the core, into the glutes, and not just straining on the hands. And if this is not in your practice, you can lay your arms long. You can also come down to the knees, always option to come down to the knees. And just holding in your body for whatever sort of a plank, working through this shake. Breathing that breath in, maybe creating a new mantra, that I am strong, and I'm shaking. I am strong. I can do hard things. Awesome work, my friends. Floating from the center down to the earth, coming down onto the mat. Option here, you can have 3 different variations. If you want to, you can cobra it up. You can bring those hands, those arms length and long. You can give yourself a nice sphinx. Or if you're feeling like you want to get more power pose, you can give yourself that upward dog. Ardha Mukha Savasana. I think that's right. I haven't said that one in a long time. So whatever feels best for you. And if you are choosing that upward dog, really power through the glutes and the booty, through the core, lifting up that heart, not bringing all the weight into the feet, really finding that center. Breathing that breath, working through that shape. And from here, my friends, posting the feet, floating back up, however it looks for you, coming into that downward facing dog. And the option is yours. You can walk up to your feet, or you can walk your hands back to the feet. So does that make sense? So feet will either walk to the hands, or hands will walk to the feet. That is your choice, yogi's choice, my friends. Allowing the body to dangle and hang forward here, right? Because all of these leaves are changing. They haven't quite begun to fall yet. But I was up in the Rocky Mountain National Park. I took a nice day hike with my husband on Sunday, and we were noticing all the leaves changing. There were these really vibrant yellows, and even these like really electric neon-y greens, just like the peak, just like the very start. Because what is today? It's would it be September 21st of 2020, right? This year is the year of change. This is the year of everything is so different. So if you would like, you can grab the outsides of the elbows and swing side to side as you root your feet into the earth like a tree, side to side. Swing those hips. Maybe you can give yourself a little buoyancy, a little movement that comes side to side. Awesome work. Just moving that body, freeing your hips a little bit as you sway. And slowly and mindfully coming up for a half flat back, removing any wrinkles from the neck. So this just means sometimes our instinct is to, our body's trying to go up, or we're looking too far down. So find that flat back and really activate through the core. You can really well ground into the feet. So really root those feet. Activate through the hands, the calves, hamstrings and glutes, through the core, wrapping around. Exhale, swinging, floating, whatever resonates, arms back. And just taking a moment to pause here. We're going to just slowly transition, floating the arms forward, coming back into your seat, into a chair pose, Utkatasana. So as you come into your chair, we're really just going to work on those hips, bringing those hips forward. You can float the arms ahead of you. You can grab onto mudra. You can bring those hands to the heart center. I have this block here. You can hold that block. Sometimes hugging that block in can be really helpful, because this can be kind of one of those vulnerable poses that can be hard. And this actually can be a really good pose for the knees, which it almost seems like it wouldn't be, but it really is a great alignment of the knees, like a nice fundamental pose of yoga here, as we bring that breath into the heart. Exhaling, we're going to float those arms back here. Awesome work, my friends. And doing your best to work through the shake, coming back to center. Then we're going to slowly tip towards our right side. So if you have that block, you can do that, or you can do your Anjali Mudra. You can test your center of gravity, have like a nice diagonal business going on here, rooting yourself into your seat, taking 3 conscious breaths here. So really inhale it in, letting it go. If you want that fire breath, you can activate that fire, or catch a little lion's breath. Awesome work to the center, working through the mind, getting into that body, twisting to the left side, working through that mind. I am strong. I am rooted. I can do hard things. I'm seeing these leaves over here changing. Big breath, lion's breath, floating. Inhale, meeting me in a standing position. Awesome work, my friends. And meeting me at the center of your mat. Right, and so meeting at center, finding yourself in your mountain. So really rooting those feet into the earth. If that block is rocking with you, if it's feeling good, you can kind of hold that with you as you root your feet into the earth and really scan it from the bottoms of the feet, so activate. And this can be one of those poses where you can feel nothing or you can feel everything. So really activate, turning on the calves, activating through the hamstrings, wrapping through the inner thighs, inhaling up to the glutes, to the core, turning the core on, radiating up, and even like creating some space here in this throat chakra as we humbly tuck the chin. Inhale, opening the shoulders up, and allowing the hands just to rest at our sides here. And inhale, floating the hands high up to the sky and creating a mountain, right? This strong rooted mountain. The sun is really glary here. I have this incredible view of all of these mountains, and I look out the window every morning, and I'm so grateful, and I find so much strength and compassion and stillness within these incredible mountains, right? These incredible mountains are surrounded with trees, right? Embracing this changing of the season. Exhale as we float those arms down to the earth. And next practice, next pose, we're going to be getting into our tree, into our Vrikshasana. So we're going to really root into that right foot into the earth, zipping up through all of the joints, creating this nice straight line, being aware that our hips trying to pop out. First option, my friends, so really tuning in to this left leg, and you can kickstand up. You just want to be aware of the joints. Don't bang on the joints. I used to pop and lock right on my joints, and I see a lot of students doing that, and we want to protect and preserve our well-being of our body. Second option, no judgment. Wherever you are, it doesn't matter, right? It's just a pose. Wherever you show up today is okay. This is a practice. It's not a perfect. So you can be here, or you can come all the way up into a Vrikshasana, into the big variation, whatever works for you. Sometimes my pants really get me, and I gotta stay here, and that's okay. So really zip up through the core, growing your tree, and focus on your breath. And I'm gonna read you a little something I wrote. And I taught this class. This is the third autumn Equinox class I've taught on Yoga Bliss with Shelly. And I read this last year, and I found it, and I wanted to read it today. Let's see if I can test my center of gravity and read and be in a tree. Test yourself. Find a drishti, a space on the floor. Go within. Ready? Trees are rooted, and no matter the season, wet or weather, they are planted into their being. Fall is here. Leaves are changing. Winds are blowing, testing the tree's strength. The tree is steadfast and wise. Leaves fall, as do our thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and self-limiting beliefs. As a tree is ever-changing, so are we. Woo, my body is testing me. So if you float out, fall out, get yourself back up there. I know my calf is on fire burning from my practice this morning too, so do whatever you need. If you need a chair or a wall, it's okay to be where you are. We are strong and brave and perfectly imperfect just as we are. We can learn the wisdom and compassion from the trees. Okay, so my body is like, yeah, reading and doing the tree pose. So slowly allow yourself to kind of float out, unhinge. I like to give myself a shake. So if you have space to run forward, if not, just stay on your mat, kind of wiggle it out. Oh, wiggle out that burn. Find that power and that strength, right? Okay, we're going to do this on the opposite side. You've got the drill. Roll it on up, zip it up, catch that wave of energy as you activate through the core, finding that slight, gentle baby bend to that knee, right? Find that strength in that heart. If you can really open your heart and squeeze the shoulder blades together, you can find a bind or you can float your leaves up. So whatever works for you. I'm reading the rest of this and then finding my balance, right? It's challenging. Trees are our teachers. As fall approaches, no two branches or trees are the same. Here and now, allow the self-limiting beliefs of the ego, the false perception of self, to go, and welcome new expansive beliefs about yourself. I am healthy, I am wise, I am strong, I am abundance, I am healthy, I am healthy. I am wealthy in all aspects of my life. I am peace. I am one with the now. Now slowly let your body float out. Maybe it wasn't as tricky for you. Maybe it was. Okay, now kind of just let that body shake it on out, my friends. From here, we're going to exhale wide open legs, kind of opening them up wide, 3 to 4 feet. Kind of bend in here a little bit. From the hips, we're going to exhale, hinging forward. If you have that block, grab onto it. If you're super flexible, whether you are or not, it doesn't matter. So if you are kind of have my same self-limiting belief that I'm not super flexible, you can really bend the knees and you can exhale the heart and you can find a flat back, or you can allow yourself just to tip forward as far as you can go. If you are one of those incredible beings that can just pop your head on the floor, this is your time to shine. Awesome work. And just find a little stillness. And if you want to activate this pose, you can move and ski side to side, or you can just find a little stillness here for a moment. And from here, my friends, we're just going to take it however it looks for you. So one knee down, so you can bring that left knee down, other knee down. And we're going to swing those feet over to the side and get on the sit bones. Awesome work, my beautiful trees. I love doing these classes that honor and acknowledge all of the amazingness of nature. It's like my favorite time. So from the center, my friends, we're going to activate the core. We're going to inhale, lifting your hands up. Whatever this looks like for you, for a little boat, so you can lift one leg up wherever you are in your practice. You can lift another leg up. If you really struggle with this, you can also grab a block and you can start here, because we have to start where we are. So our cores, right, I know as a woman, there's all of this crap surrounding our centers and our cores not being what the magazines say they should be. So let your core be wherever she or he is, or they is, and just, and if you can also extend the legs long. It's not feeling in my practice today. You can also bring a big breath in, and you can hold onto the back of the thighs and bring that big breath that radiates up the sole of the feet. Exhaling it out, right? Almost like we could be like this pile of leaves on the earth, right? You rake and you shovel all the leaves. If you have giant trees, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You can fill up like 20 huge outside trash bags full these leaves, and maybe the leaves kind of go and they blow and they go a little crazy. If you want to come down, you can hug in, you can bring the knees up to the chest. Exhale, get a little crazy with the wind. I know where I live, the wind is insanely windy. Hugging it up. Let's do 2 more of those. Exhale that wind. Do what you can. Inhale, and even if it's staying here, that's fine. Exhale, let it get windy. Inhale, my friends. Awesome work. We're going to move that little block out of the way. And from here, we're going to just get a little playful for a moment. So from the center, we're going to exhale. We're going to roll back. Okay? Now come up. You can bring the arms forward. You can starfish it out. Exhaling it back. Kind of like you're almost in like halasana, a plow pose. Whatever feels good for you. I'm kind of here in a Baddha Konasana, a butterfly, and I'm reaching forward like I'm hugging a big, beautiful tree. Exhaling it back. Inhale to raise it up. 3 more of those. Exhaling it back. Finding a little playfulness. Really, I want you to turn your smile on, because I know a lot of times in yoga we get so serious, and it doesn't have to be so serious. It can be a joyful, epic event. I might be adding 1 more because it feels so good. This last one, we're going to plant our spines on the earth, so you can roll it back, or you can slow and steady, like I have this beautiful mala. I wear malas every day. I love the vibration. We're going to release our spine like a beautiful set of malas. And sometimes it doesn't always look perfect. And allow yourself just to settle into the earth. So if you need to kind of situate your hair, if you have like a ponytail getting in the way, perhaps you want to move that. You can let your knees kind of sink in together. You can kind of let the feet settle more open on the mat. You can choose to maybe open up the legs like a butterfly, or you can choose to just lay the legs long in a traditional Savasana. And I invite you to bring the hands to the tummy, to the center, to the core of our rootedness. So maybe even just trying to set those hands on the hips. And allow a big breath that radiates up the soles of the feet to come in. And with an extended jaw, just melt it away. Taking 3 more of those really expansive breaths that radiate up the soles of the feet, rooting us into the earth. Expanding down. 2 more of those. Just with each breath, allowing yourself to melt into the mat, melting into the earth. Letting go. 1 more breath, my friends. Letting it go. And here in this moment, as we allow ourselves to melt, relaxing and melting the heels, letting go, spiraling up the calves, melting into the shins, spiraling up the knees, relaxing the thighs, the inner thighs, the outer thighs, the hamstrings. Really letting go like a big blob. Just let it go, not holding on to anything anymore. Not trying to be or do, just allowing, sinking the sit bones, deepening at the navel, allowing each vertebrae to melt into the mat, letting go at the shoulders, relaxing the biceps, the elbows, and the triceps, spiraling around, wrapping around the wrists, and letting go the palms of the hands, allowing the hands to feel free and open. Really being mindful if the body is trying to clench and hold on, and doing your best to melt and relax. Scanning up and wrapping around the heart center, and really just allowing an openness in the heart with this changing of seasons. Embracing fall and autumn, and all of its wonder and splendor, and all of the beautiful, vibrant, warm colors. And even embracing the fall of the leaves. And knowing that just like the leaves fall, we will have many feelings, thoughts, emotions, swirling and twirling around. And then if we can allow them to fall, spiraling up around the throat, around the jaw, melting into the crown of the head. Just allowing this body to just be here, melting into this moment. With that breath that comes in. And from here, we're going to say the Om mantra 3 times. So we're going to bring a breath in, and then it's going to go like this. Om. So whether or not you've mantraed or not, just let go of judgment and let the vibration of Om carry you away. So a big breath that comes into the heart. Last one. And getting gratitude for this changing of seasons. As you bring the palms, kissing palms to the heart center, or raising it high above the 3rd eye. Namaste. Thank you for practicing, my friends. I love you so much, and I will see you back here.